tutorial
on how to disassemble and assemble a system unit.
and we are from Bachelor of Science Information Technology. Let's go! Come on, let's get inside!
Disassemble a system unit. Step 1. Unplug the wire connector of monitor, mouse, and keyboard. This ensures that these external devices are disconnected from the computer for safe disassembly. Step 2. Remove the chassis. This step involves taking off the outer case or cover of the computer, exposing the internal components. Step 3. Unplug all the connectors, disconnecting all cables and connectors attached to the motherboard and other components. Step 4. Remove the power supply. Taking out the power supply unit from the computer case, which provides power to the various components. Step 5. Remove the hard disk drive. Taking out the HDD, which stores data on spinning disks inside. Step 6. Remove the CD or DVD drive. This involves removing the optical drive, if present, used for reading CDs or DVDs. Step 7. Remove the RAM, heatsink, and CPU. These are critical internal components. RAM provides memory for the computer. The heatsink dissipates heat from the CPU. And the CPU central processing unit is the brain of the computer. Step 8. Remove the motherboard. This is the main circuit board that holds all the components together. Removing this effectively disassembles the core structure of the computer. After removing all the components of computer system unit, we go now on how to assemble the system unit. Assemble a system unit. Step 1. Return the CPU, heatsink, and RAM. Start by reinstalling the CPU Central Processing Unit onto the motherboard. Attach the heatsink fan on top of the CPU to ensure it stays cool during operation. Insert the RAM modules into their designated slots on the motherboard. Step 2. Return the motherboard. Return the motherboard carefully. Place the motherboard back into the chassis, ensuring it aligns properly with the mounting points and that no cables are trapped underneath it. Step 3. Return the power supply. Install the power supply unit into its designated spot within the computer case. Connect its power cables to the appropriate connectors on the motherboard and other components. Step 4. Return the hard disk drive HDD. Install the HDD back into its bay within the chassis. Connect the necessary power and data cables to the HDD and motherboard. Step 5. Return the CD or DVD drive. If applicable, reinsert the CD, DVD drive into its bay and connect its data and power cables to the motherboard and power supply. Step 6. Return all the connectors inside. Reconnect all the internal cables, such as SATA, power, front panel connectors, etc., to their respective slots on the motherboard and components. Step 7. Return the chassis. Place the chassis cover or case back onto the system unit, ensuring it's properly aligned and secured with screws or latches. Step 8. Return the monitor mouse and keyboard connectors. Finally, reconnect the cables for the monitor, mouse, and keyboard to their respective ports on the back of the computer. Here's a breakdown of the main parts of a system unit along with their functions. Motherboard. The motherboard is the main circuit board of the computer. It provides a platform for connecting all the other components, such as CPU, RAM, GPU, storage drives, and expansion cards. It also facilitates communication between these parts. Central Processing Unit CPU. The CPU is the brain of the computer responsible for executing instructions from software. It performs calculations, logic operations, and manages data. The speed and efficiency of a CPU greatly affect the overall performance of the system. RAM. RAM provides temporary storage for data that the CPU needs to access quickly. It holds data that is actively used by running programs. The more RAM a system has, the more tasks it can handle simultaneously without slowing down. DVD drive. This optical drive reads and writes data from CDs or DVDs. It allows users to install software, watch movies, or create backups using optical discs. Power supply. The power supply unit converts electricity from a standard outlet into usable power for the computer. It provides the necessary voltages and currents to all components, ensuring they function correctly. Heat sink. This component absorbs and disperses the heat generated by the CPU during operation. It's usually made of metal and helps to prevent the CPU from overheating, maintaining its optimal temperature for functioning. Hard disk drive HDD. The HDD is a primary storage device that stores data on spinning disks. It retains information even when the computer is turned off, providing long-term storage for the operating system, software, and user files. Chassis. CHASSIS is the framework or case that encloses and protects all the internal components of the computer. And those are the main parts and their functions of the system unit. Remember, when disassembling and assembling a computer system unit, it is essential to follow safety guidelines to prevent injuries and damage to the components. Always handle tools carefully and ensure that the computer is turned off and unplugged before starting the process.
That's all. We hope you learned something on our basic tutorial. Thank you for watching.
John Mark M. Beller, Winnie R. Lozano, Loilin M. Bago, Jacob O. Cloro,